you truly are while explaining why you went to slavery.
Right.
All right, read that. 27:1.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 27, verse 1. And Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people, saying, keep all the commandments which I command you this day.
See that? Moses with the elders of Israel.
Right.
The elders of Israel was the 12 tribes. That's who Moses was speaking to. He wasn't speaking to just any old random person.
Right.
He was talking to a specific people. Now let's see what he said to those Israelites. Read.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments.
So that's the same thing Moses said in 27:1. He said, hey, look, Moses with the elders of Israel commanded the people to keep God's commandments.
Right.
So right here, he's telling them again, he said, look, hearken, listen, take heed to God's commandments. Why?
And his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So because we didn't listen, he said curses would come upon us and overtake us. Right?
Right.
Read on.
Verse 16, cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
You see that? Cursed shall you be in the city. These is the fields right here. These is the slave. This is where we made the railroads.
Yep.
We picked cotton. We picked sugar cane, tobacco, everything that you could, all of the different crops, and all of the manual labor, because back then they didn't have, industrial
Right.
machinery and stuff like that.
Everything
So we
was
had to do everything manually, right? So God said, these curses will come upon you for not keeping my commandments. And one of the curses is that we would pick cotton. That's the curse in the field, right? The curse in the city goes into every city. Where you from again, bro?
North Carolina.
Okay, so you've been to a lot of cities, right?
Yeah.
Where do the black people live in most of the cities?
In the South, Mississippi, I say Chicago,
Mm-hmm.
where I'm from, is usually
It's
in the
houses and
South.
stuff. But is
Houses.
it the nicest part of the
Oh
neighborhood?
yeah, they unsuburban. That's what I call it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And in the projects, and
So read that again, because what we're doing is showing you that this ain't just a book. This is your history book.
right.
And this is something that God said was going to happen thousands of years later. Read it. 16.
16, cursed shall thou be in the city.
So every city, like you just said, we either live in the low income parts of the city, the projects, or we live in the worst parts of the city.
Right.
Even if it's houses, it's still in the worst parts.
Right.
Because I've been to Mississippi, and they have the good side where the white people live, and then they have where the black people live.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Where the street sweepers don't come over there.
Right.
Right.
They only go to the white neighborhood.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The community cleanup teams and stuff like that, they don't come to the hoods.
Right.
So God said you would be cursed. That's one of the curses. Also, everywhere you go, you would be hated.
Right.
You would have you walk around some of these parts and the wrong person see you, they're gonna call the police on you.
Yeah.
That's a curse.
Yep.
That's what he said, cursed in the city. Everywhere you go, everything you do, there's a potential that something bad can happen to you just for being who you are.
Right.
Read. Give me verse, what's that? 23. Read that.
Verse 23, and they heaven that is
heaven.
and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass, and the earth that is under thy shall be iron.
Under thy what?
Shall be iron. Under thee shall be iron.
Right. So the brass on thy head, that goes into the chains and the shackles, like you see in this from Goodbye Uncle Tom.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And this is over his head. It said what? The iron what? Read it from the top.
23, and thy heaven that is over thy head shall be brass.
See that? The heaven over thy head. This is what they did. They put us in chains and shackles over our heads. This one in particular, they used to put bells on it. So if you tried to run away, they would hear you.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And it said on your feet. We all know that. The shackles on our damn feet.
Right.
They still do that today in the prison system,
Right.
which our people predominantly populate.
Right.
Read.
And the earth that is under thee shall be iron. The Lord shall make the rain of thy land powder, and the dust. From heaven shall it come down upon thee until thou be destroyed.
That means our resources would be dried up. Everything that we produce in this world, we don't reap the benefits of.
Right.
The other nations reap the benefits. It's not saying literally like the water don't come down and it's turned into dust. It's saying because what does water come down for? To water what?
Plants and the grass
Crops,
and all the,
right? Food. Because we took for granted what the Lord gave us. And now look at us.
Now they're saying we need to step up
hmm
and start taking back over and getting what we supposed to get. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They just don't own this. We got a part of this too.
right.
That's why I see it.
But listen to this, because what you just said is in the Bible. Read that.
Thine ox
Read the what verses?
is verse 31. Deuteronomy 28, verse 31. Thy ox shall be slain before thine eyes, and thou shalt not eat thereof.
Read.
Thine ass shall be violently taken away from before thy face, and shall not be restored to thee.
That's what they did when they took over the land. They took all of the animals. They killed all of the buffalo. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
God said this is a curse because you didn't want to keep my commandments.
Right.
It's not because they stronger than us. It's not because they better than us. Give me verse 43. It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's not that they better than us.
Right.
It's just we don't want to keep God's commandments.
Right.
Read that.
Deuteronomy 28, verse 43. The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high.
That's going into when they took over these lands. The stranger will get above us very high. And what else?
And thou shalt come down very low.
Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 2. So God said the stranger, which is the other nations, they were strangers when if somebody come from another country to your country, what is that?
That's
It's a stranger.
Yeah.
You don't know them. You don't know you don't know what they plans are. You don't know what they plan to do. You don't know what their motive is.
Right.
Why are you here? You're a stranger, right? God said the strangers because when they came, the pilgrimage, the Jesuit priests, all of this stuff, the conquistadors, when they came, they were strangers.
Right.
And God said because we didn't keep his commandments, they got above us very high and we became very low. Read this.
22 or 27?
9 and 2.
9 and 2. It's the book of Nehemiah, chapter 9, verse 2.
Start at 1.
Verse 1. Now in the 24th day of this month, the children of Israel were assembled with fasting and with sackcloth and earth upon them. And the seed of Israel spread themselves from all, separated themselves all.
Read it again.
Okay. And the seed of Israel separated themselves from all strangers and stood and confessed their sins and the iniquities of their fathers.
See that? That's what we got to do now.
Right.
We have to, in the midst of these other nations, because everywhere you go, the so-called white man owns all of this. God is saying, yes, the stranger that was in you, the stranger that is within you will get above you very high. But guess what? If we fast and we pray to the Lord and we keep his commandments, God said, look, separate yourself from them and I will, you know what I'm saying? I will restore you back to where you was.
Right.
That's what we have to do. Get that in Revelations chapter 18. Revelations chapter 18 and 4. So that's what you got to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? You got to separate yourself from all of this stuff. I see you smoking a cigarette. You got to separate yourself from
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's just
Because the white man is the one who legalized smoking cigarettes.
Right.
They tell you it's gonna kill you, but they still allow you to go to stores and buy it.
Right.
That goes back to the stranger that is within thee shall get above thee very high.
Right.
Because you have no you can't dictate anything. You have no rule, no power to say what is a law and what is not a law.
Right.
What can and cannot be done. That's why they could put their knee in George Floyd's neck.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And there's no penalty for it because they are above us and we low.
Right.
We don't have no power to do anything. So we got to separate ourselves from them. Start back keeping our customs, which praying and fasting is one of them. That's a commandment.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Stop smoking the cigarettes. That's a commandment. Start getting with your brothers and sisters to help you get right with your God so that we can get up out of this captivity, bro. That's
Right.
the goal, bro. We tired of it.
Yeah.
Read.
Yeah.
It's the book of Revelations, chapter 18, verse 4. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people.
And so it's when it says another voice from heaven, it don't mean a voice literally came down. It's saying that somebody's gonna read this Bible to you and tell you what?
Come out of her, my people.
You are God's people. You are his chosen people. You from the 12 tribes of Israel. God is telling you to come out from amongst these people, bro.
Right.
Be separate from them. Don't take up their customs. Don't celebrate Christmas because they tell you that it was Jesus Christ's birthday.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Don't break the Sabbath day, which is Saturday, because they tell you Sunday is the day you go to church on. You know what I'm saying? Read that. Read on.
That ye be not partakers of her sins.
Because if you don't separate from them, you are going to partake in their sins.
Right.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you. It's nation time.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, His word,